kwa sababu kuna tofauti ya mwanasiasa na kiongozi. Wanasiasa ni wengi, viongozi ni wachache. And I want you to know that difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have always opined on this platform on many occasions that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. And that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing in politics just happens for the sake of it. Earlier today, President Uhuru Kenyatta met with Rigathi Gachagua during the burial of the late Daniel Karaba, the former senator for Kirinyaga.
Today, that nobody will divide this mountain, nobody can come between us and President Uhuru Kenyatta. President Uhuru Kenyatta, for the record, is my older brother, is my kinsman, and my longtime friend. Those who are politics of yesterday, we are in different times.
The entire united opposition attended that burial. And for me, everything there was well planned and was well executed. Allow me in this video to analyze what these guys wanted you to know. First of all, let us begin with the reception. Uhuru Kenyatta was well received when he arrived. There were wild cheers for Uhuru Kenyatta. But now, this is Uhuru Kenyatta alighting from the car. Who is receiving Uhuru Kenyatta? Martha Karua. And of course, even before that, because this was a funeral, all these other guys were already seated. So when Uhuru Kenyatta came, all of them left their seats wherever they were. And they came to receive Uhuru Kenyatta. Have you ever seen such a kind of a thing happening? They did it because they wanted to send a message. But if you look at it critically, the person who received Uhuru Kenyatta from the vehicle was Martha Karua. Then Fred Matiang'i. Then Rigathi Gachagua. There is something there. Because you all know that Martha Karua and Uhuru Kenyatta have never been really political buddies. But for the first time, we are seeing Martha Karua, the one receiving Uhuru Kenyatta.
My younger brother, but he's my senior because of the position he has occupied as the 4th President of the Republic of Kenya. His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
Why? Because if you look at political experience, maybe Martha Karua, but Uhuru was a president, Rigathi was a deputy. Which means, in all fairness, probably, Rigathi would have been the one to receive the former president, because all of them are former. Are you reading what I'm reading? That Mount Kenya might actually produce a presidential candidate. And that candidate might be Martha Wangari Karua. Rigathi is cooking something with Martha Karua. So that's what I can get. So that's what I got from that scripted reception. In an ordinary circumstance, Uhuru Kenyatta would have arrived, headed straight to the podium. Those people probably would have stood up and would have greeted them the way he did to the rest. But on this, scripted, and the message is home. Now let us look at some of the things these guys are showing us through the photos. And I want to focus on Uhuru and Rigathi. Because for a long time now, there's been the talk that Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi were planning some handshake. We saw Jeremiah Kioni visiting Rigathi Gachagua sometimes back. Those were all indications that, these guys were going to work together. But now we had the opportunity in a funeral of Rigathi and Uhuru. Go and check some of the photos these guys shared. Let me see if I can get some of them. From those photos, you could see the firm handshake between Uhuru and Rigathi. It tells us something. It didn't end there because they shook hands, then it was firm. That was a message, because normally, if there's a problem, the handshake would be there, but not firm. Then it didn't end there. After the firm handshake, they went and hugged each other. So I think if you are still waiting for another handshake between Uhuru and Rigathi, you'll wait longer. The only thing which will happen is that now they will start coming out openly for a very long time. But then something also happened there. Breach of protocol. By who? Karanja Kibicho. Karanja Kibicho worked for Uhuru Kenyatta. But at some point, he asked Uhuru Kenyatta and the rest to stand up. And indeed, Uhuru Kenyatta stood up. What most of you don't know is that Karanja Kibicho is the man currently heading Fred Matiang'i's campaign. Matiang'i is a project of Uhuru Kenyatta. And when he asked Uhuru and Rigathi to stand, this was his message.
Your Excellency, after I left work, nilikuja huku ground. So we listen. Tuko huku ground. And if these people are to say, Honorable Karaba has spoken. Honorable Karaba has spoken. What we are seeing today is Karaba's speech to all of us. Honorable Karaba has brought all of us together from every corner of the country and from every political persuasion. And to the people on the front row, Honorable Karaba in his grave will want to see you this. Honorable Karaba anasema, as he lies here, may you work together to make this country a great country. Honorable Karaba anasema, mukiachana, anawaona akiwa high heavens. And he is saying, he wants you to know that this country is going through a lot of tribulations. Tuko kwa ground. Now watu, Your Excellency, half of them jioni hawatakuwa na chakula ya kukula, not because they don't work hard, but because all their hard work is going into the wrong hands. And Honorable Karaba has spoken. Hata mimi nataka kuungana na Honorable Karaba. Niseme the front row. In fact, it's only that Your Excellency, you came, and I may not order you around, or will you allow me? Please, the front row, stand. Your Excellency, that's the heartbeat I was having. The front row. Yeah. Please, just stand to the people. I'm just ordering you around. Msitu aibeshe, asanteni sana. Finally, may the soul of my teacher, my friend, and mentor, Senator Karaba, rest in eternal peace. Asanteni sana.
So the message to the mountain is one, and it was delivered by Karanja Kibicho. Then there was the presence of James Bob Agri Orengo. What was that signifying? Orengo's presence, in my view, was simply the presence of Linda Wananchi. So if you still doubted who is behind the Linda Wananchi group, you got your answer today.
Na unajua matokeo ingekuwa buy one get one free. Raila angekuwa president na leo Martha Karua pia angekuwa president. Ama ni aje? I think sometimes it's good to listen.
So moving forward, they'll start working together because this event, for the first time, brought all of them together, ladies and gentlemen. But what were the objectives which they wanted to achieve during this particular event? That's exactly what I want to explain to you guys. And therefore, I want to ask you for a small favor. Click the subscribe button to help us. And also, if you can, drop your comment. And particularly, the Ligang, they know themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, the first objective which these guys wanted to achieve was that they wanted to send the signal, the first signal of Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua truce. In short, Uhuru and Rigathi had issues. And those issues are now resolved. Listening to Rigathi Gachagua confirming it.
Ninaona hii watu ya Kasongo pale Ikulu wanashida hapo mikutano, wakisema ati Uhuru Kenyatta rais wetu hawezi fanya kazi za Rigiji. How do you know? Let me tell you Kasongo, wewe hujui sisi. The fact tulikupatia kura unafikiria wewe unatujua. In fact you think you are one of us. You are not. You don't know us. You don't know us. When myself, I've been personal assistant to President Uhuru Kenyatta for many years. I have worked with President Uhuru Kenyatta for 20 years, working close. Hii jamaa ameingia katikati yetu tumekosana mwaka 3. Sasa kati ya mwaka 3 na 20 ni gani mingi? So, sasa na ni jamaa aliingia katikati yetu. Na Bishop.
Number 2, I think there are attempts to unite the opposition. And that's the only way they will be able to make William Ruto one term. So I think they wanted to show that the opposition is united. That's why you saw James Orengo representing Linda Wananchi, Fred Matiang'i, you saw him there, you saw Kalonzo Musyoka there, you saw Eugene Wamalwa, you saw Martha Karua, you saw Uhuru Kenyatta. You can't tell me that all these guys were available for this event. Some of these guys were not even friends to Karaba, but they were there. So they just wanted to show the country that the opposition is united. And that message reached home. And number 3, I strongly believe that they wanted to send a coded message to their supporters. Because remember, we have united, or is it alternative opposition? And also we have Linda Wananchi. And questions have been raised as to whether the two will be able to converge at some point. This is what they were trying to tell their supporters. That if you see this group, treat them well. If you see this group, treat them well. And importantly, this meeting was about, this handshake was about Mount Kenya unity. The governor for Kirinyaga, Uhuru, could not even attend this event. Right? I could be wrong, but I didn't see her. Because of the hostility. But importantly, this is a serious beginning of the one-term movement by this group. Uhuru Kenyatta is now finally out and is telling everybody that I'm now out with my team. I don't know what you think, but this is my take. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.